When we talk about bad organizations in the NBA, the first thing everyone does is they run to the standings, go to the bottom of the list, and as per usual, you know you're going to find the Wizards. Now, I'm usually never one for bashing an organization, and usually if I do, I will not lie, it will be the Wizards. But today, I have to bash a team that managed to make the play-in because what they're doing, this team is in full dysfunctional mode and it can't go unnoticed. Hey, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Alvin Mike from L.T.A. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing what the hell is going on in Sacramento. Now, for those of you that are unaware, the Sacramento Kings are another team that plays in California. The same way the Clippers are the little brother to the Lakers, at the current moment, the Kings are the little brothers to the Warriors. In that, the Warriors have been successful, won a bunch of rings over the past decade or so, whereas for the Kings, they've had some good seasons and some awful seasons. Their best season in the past decade, actually, should I even say in the past decade, in the past 20 years, since 2005 to 2006, is the 2022 to 2023 season where we saw them go 48-34 and lose in the Western Conference first round. And it was kind of upsetting, but hey, it made a whole lot of sense. Since then, we've seen their wins decline with the 46-36 season in 2023 to 2024 and the 40-42 season last year. Now, the sad part about it all is they did also lose their head coach, and Mike Brown was their head coach for their two best seasons before eventually firing him last season, which I kind of get, but at the same time, it made no sense to me because it's more on the roster than it is on him. I personally blame Sacramento's failure on the structure of the team. Now, for those of you that don't know the team, at the point, we've got Malik Monk and Dennis Schroeder backed up by Devin Carter as the third option. Zach LaVine and Keon Ellis are the two guards on the team. We've got DeMar DeRozan at the small forward backed up by Nick Clifford, and of course, Doug McDermott. Then we've got Keegan Murray, Isaac Jones, and then Doug McDermott is the third option at the power forward. And then at center, we've got Domantas Sabonis, Drew Eubanks, Dario Saric, and another guy whose name I cannot pronounce right now. When you hear that lineup, you automatically think to yourself, this lineup can't win anything. And it's mainly because it appears as though the Kings really just went out there and bought what they could in regards of what they thought was a big name. First off, you got DeMar DeRozan, which I was happy with him and De'Aaron Fox side by side. I thought it was a good pairing, especially with Domantas Sabonis, because it meant that it alleviated a little bit of the scoring stress off of De'Aaron Fox, because obviously Keegan Murray is producing, but you needed a guy who's a proven bucket, a guy that you know one-on-one can easily go at any defender, and DeMar DeRozan was that guy. But you went out there, you got Zach LaVine, which to me was kind of dumb because we already saw the pairing of DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine within Chicago. It never worked out. Some reason you thought it would work here. And then, of course, De'Aaron Fox moved on to the San Antonio Spurs, which I can't even personally blame him for because he's been loyal to the Kings since they drafted him. They've done nothing for him. It made sense that he had to depart. But in another series of a terrible decision to make, the Kings have basically just come out. It's been in the news for a while, but it's basically confirmed now. They are intending to sign Russell Westbrook. Now, the one thing I will say about Russ is he will go down as one of the greatest point guards of all time, but him joining this team is the perfect sign of there's a lot of dysfunction in this organization because he makes no sense for the team in a way. To start off with, Malik Monk is the starting point guard. With them intending to sign Russ, it has come out that they are intending to trade Malik Monk, which I personally believe is a smart move because last season Malik Monk managed to average 17.2 points, 3.8 rebounds, 5.6 assists with 0.6 blocks and 0.9 steals, shooting about 44% from the field and 33% from the three-point line and 87% from the free throw line, which is a perfect indication that on a team that intends to win right now, he's the perfect fit to come off the bench as your sixth man just because you know he's efficient and he will get a bucket, which is what you need with your bench. So he does have a high trade value, which makes sense for the Kings. They also have Devin Carter on the chopping block as well, which, again, you're not going to find anything for him. So in my personal opinion, you keep him. Dennis Schroeder trading him makes no sense at the current moment due to the fact that they just paid him $45 million. So with this all set in mind, bringing in Russell Westbrook doesn't make sense just because you've got a young star that you really need to focus on in Keegan Murray, and all they're doing right now with the team is aging it as though the Kings are currently building the team as though they're one step away from a championship when in reality they're over 100 away. In my personal opinion, if I'm a member of the Sacramento Kings organization, all I say is in order of who we keep, Keegan Murray, Zach LaVine, everybody else can go. The reason I say that is Domantas Sabonis has a tendency for posting the numbers, doing everything you need in regards of the stat sheet, but I don't believe he's the superstar you need if you want to win a ring. I'm sorry to say it, he is a little bit, even though he's height-wise, it looks like he does come up with a size. Defensively, I wouldn't really count on him too tough. He does shoot the ball well, but I personally insist you move on from him just because it's also that weird. Actually, you either move on from him or you stop trying to run this little hybrid where you have him move the ball around and play it out the post from him. I know we've seen it from Jokic, but not everyone can be Jokic just because there's a difference between having an ability to pass the ball and an ability to see the floor in a way that majority of people can't, which is what Jokic has. And even though Domantas Sabonis can pass the ball around quite a bit, he doesn't have that ability that Jokic and his dad had. So in my personal opinion, either move on from him or move him to actually being a natural center and accepting the fact that you won't get a bunch of assists. Majority of your job should be rebound, score, that's it. We're stopping running off these handoffs whereby you hand the ball off and someone does whatever they can. Also, I would actually keep Keon Ellis because he's a well-proven 3-and-D guy. He can really guard. Like, that's one guy in the league who I can say can play defense at a high capability. So I'd keep him as my backup shooting guard. Zach LaVine, my main reason for keeping him, he's 30 years old. He's a proven scorer. He just needs a point guard who can facilitate for him, which is why, in my personal opinion, move on from Malik Monk. Dennis Schroeder can easily move up to the starting point guard role for now because he does have the ability to get the ball going. But you need to look out for a young guard with an ability to move the ball. Obviously, Tyus Jones is still out there. You could easily acquire him if you really do seek it. Trade Malik Monk to the Suns. They will take him for Tyus Jones. Another person is Keegan Murray. That's a highly proven aspect in the regards of 12.4 points, 6.7 rebounds, 1.4 assists, whilst also getting 0.9 blocks and 0.8 steals, shooting 44% from the field and 34% from the three-point line. This is a guy who I really believe the main focus should be around. As with you moving on from De'Aaron Fox, you have a 24-year-old who has an ability that majority of kids his size really don't. He can shoot the ball really well. If anything, develop the rest of his game because this could be the guy that leads you to a ring. All you need is great development around it. I'd personally seek another coach because hiring Doug Christie because he used to play for you makes no sense to me. I get it. He's a cool guy. I like Doug myself. But I would personally, I'd seek a new coach. Really and truly, there's a lot that needs to happen in Sacramento. I just wanted to flag that this organization is in turmoil. And the moment they sign Russell Westbrook, this is going to be the showing of some teams care more about how much revenue they make versus how much joy they bring to their local supporters and fans. And that's what the Kings are showing with all these moves. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, which if you did, do me a favor, go and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you haven't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn post notifications on. And down below in the comment section, let me know, do you think the Kings are currently the worst run organization? And I'm saying this from the standpoint that even though they have a better record than the majority of teams that we see out there, they seem to be making some really terrible decisions when it comes to acquiring players. But yeah, this has been your boy Alvin Mack from L.T.A. I'll catch you in a bit. Deuces.